Welcome, everyone, to the One Marketing Thing podcast. And today's topic is From Collaboration to Success, Stories of Brands that Flourish by Working Together. Hello again, everyone. I'm your host, Antoinette Blake, and you're watching the One Marketing Thing podcast. Did you know that we started this podcast originally for digital marketers to provide them with expert advice from veterans and those that have decades of experience? And today we have one of those experts. We have Chuck Hardwick. And Chuck is going to be talking about From Collaboration to Success, Stories of Brands that Flourish by Working Together. Chuck, welcome to the One Marketing Thing podcast.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here, and it's really nice to meet you as well.
And it's nice to meet you. But before we get into today's topic, spill the beans about yourself, because we know you have a lot of knowledge that you're going to be sharing with us today. How did you get started?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is me. Anyway, I'm a computer dork. I'm a geek. And I've got my first exposure to technology in high school, where I took programming in the basic computer language. And I really liked working with computers. I then went on to Florida State University, where I majored in economics and I minored in computer science. And I really fell in love with all things tech. So I've worked my whole career and made all the money I've made in my life has always been through technology. So I've done all sorts of things related to technology. I've done computer programming. I've done software quality assurance. I've been a network manager. I've been an IT director. And then about 20 years ago, back in 2003, I got interested in internet marketing. And so I was hired by a company in San Marcos, California called lawinfo.com. Their purpose was to help attorneys get more clients through web marketing and the internet. And that was my first exposure to web marketing. It was actually a sales position. So that's where I got my start. I started to learn about what made for an effective website, what drove customers to these attorneys. Then I had a number of other jobs, and back in 2012, I started my own company. And the name of my company is Dancing Panda Marketing. You can find my website online at www.dancingpandamarketing.com. Now, when I started my company, I only had one client, and it was a chiropractor who I had connected with through the platform known as LinkedIn. And I was so excited to have a new client, but it wasn't cutting it. I wasn't making enough money. I made a little bit of money, and I was learning how to create websites in WordPress. I was learning about search engine optimization. And I knew right away I needed to start networking, because I had been working for other companies, but I needed to start collaborating and cooperating with other small businesses. So I live in the Ocean Beach neighborhood of San Diego, California. I love my neighborhood. I live near the beach. It's very walkable. And about me is I hate to drive. I don't want to get out there in traffic. So I started to think to myself, I need to find a networking group here in my neighborhood that I could walk to. So I started to do some digging around, and lo and behold, I could not find a group here in my neighborhood. So I thought to myself, well, maybe I'll start my own group. So that's exactly what I did. I posted my thoughts on this on LinkedIn on a page that was specific to Ocean Beach. And I got a response from a realtor. And we created the OB networking group. And that was back in 2014. So unfortunately, she's dropped out. She's no longer involved with it. She moved out of the area, but I carried on with it. And boy, has it been a lot of fun. So the great thing about that is I built a website for the group. And if you want to check it out, it's at www.obnetworking.com. And of course, OB stands for Ocean Beach. And what was fantastic about building that website and the web presence is it gave me more experience with local SEO and with building my following. And I used Facebook heavily to build the group. And I partnered with a local cafe that was just getting off the ground. They were very, very helpful. They were really hungry for new customers, and we started meeting there, and it was going great. And so the interesting thing about that was, let me rephrase that. It went a little slow in the beginning. I was getting a lot of people coming to the meetings, but after about 4 months, I wasn't getting any customers from it. But I was meeting a lot of people, and they were starting to get to know me. And I almost gave up. And I'm like, I'm spending time and energy on this networking group, and I'm not getting any clients. And then I almost gave up, and I went to the meeting that I ran, and I got 4 really good leads all the same day. So it took a little bit of time, but it started to catch on. So my message there with networking is you have to stick with it. People have to get to know, like, and trust you before they want to do business with you. Let's face it, everyone knows someone that can build a website. Everyone's got a nephew, a niece, a cousin, an uncle, a brother, a spouse, a good friend that will build a website. So you have to differentiate yourself. You have to let people get to know and like you. But that networking group has really, over the years, has generated just a steady stream of leads. So it was all going great until 2020. And then lo and behold, what happened? COVID. Now, when COVID hit, the cafe where we used to meet, which is near my home, near my home office, they actually went out of business. It was very sad. But what I did with the networking group is I started moving everyone over to Zoom, and that went really, really well. I actually had one of my neighbors works for the local affiliate of CBS News. And she got interested in the group, and she featured us on TV. And that helped get the name out there. I got a strong backlink from their website, and it really helped the group. So after COVID started dying down, then we started again meeting in local restaurants. And now we've picked one here in OB. It's New Break Cafe, and it's on Abbott Street, right near the Pacific Ocean. And it's going very, very well. So that's driven a lot of eyeballs my way. And whenever I'm promoting the OB networking group, I also co-promote my company, which is Dancing Panda Marketing. So for your viewers, if you need help with WordPress websites or search engine optimization, go to my website. I do offer a 1-hour free consultation for anyone in the USA or Canada. I don't really offer it for people in other countries because that time zone thing gets a little bit tricky. But if you're in the USA, Canada, or Mexico, and you're relatively close time zone, I do offer a 1-hour free consultation, and you can get all the information for that free consultation on my website at www.dancingpandamarketing.com.
Wow, Chuck, that is so amazing. I love that backstory, going from, collaborating, which is what we're going to talk about, which is like the key, with your group. So we know, we saw the internet start, we saw it, a slowdown. Now we're back in and we're going really, really strong. So let I want you to talk about, why it's so important to collaborate with others as opposed to competing with others, because there are brands out there that, once they collaborate, they flourish.
I think that's a great question. And with what I'm doing with websites, the amount of work is not steady. If you have a 9 to 5 job and you're working 40 hours a week, it's predictable. You have to be there every day at 7 in the morning and you're going to work till 4 and you're going to have an hour for lunch. With what the type of work that I'm doing, I bring a client in, I work on the project, and then I finish it, and then I'm looking for something else to do. So there are times when I have more business than I can handle. And when someone needs a website or they need help with web marketing, you can't put them off. If they're ready to build a website, you have to strike when the iron is hot. If I'm too
Yes.
busy to work with a new client, I have referral partners and I send them to my referral partners and they return the favor, especially when it comes to search engine optimization. A lot of the people that I collaborate with, yes, they build beautiful websites, but they don't know how to build that website and help it get found near the top of Google. And that's where I come in. So when I send a lead to someone, it comes back to me usually more than 2 to 1. So that helps me to collaborate. And then if I get stuck on something or they're stuck on something, a weird bug or something, we have a resource where we can, we have a friendly relationship. We can talk back and forth. So I'm a firm believer in those referral partners and the collaboration. The other are for certain things that I can do, but I know other people can do better. One person that I've collaborated with quite a bit is someone named Brighton, and he works remotely from Mexico and Oregon, and he is fantastic at creating video testimonials. And he's created some for me on my website, and I've helped him with some SEO. So that collaboration is really important because you can get more leads
Yes.
and there's plenty of work out there, but it smooths out the business cycle as well.
I'm glad you said that, Chuck, because oftentimes as a small business owner, an entrepreneur, solopreneur, we are disappointed that we don't have more clients, but there is plenty of work out there. It's just a matter of, connecting and collaborating.
Yes, absolutely. The other reason it's important to collaborate are there personal things that come up. For example, I had a family member recently, a few months ago, that was in the hospital, and I was with him basically 12 hours a day. Well, some of my clients were calling and they needed help. And so because I've collaborated with other WordPress people, I was able to say, I'm sorry, but I'm busy helping this family member. But here, call this person. And so it's good to have someone, like you say, as a solopreneur, someone that's got your back,
Mhm.
because I mean, I work every day. I work 7 days a week. Now, I don't work 8 hours every day,
Right.
but being, as an entrepreneur, you have to work when the work is out there. And I really love what I do. So, and it's nice to be able to pick and choose the hours. Like I'm a morning person. I like to get things done in the morning, and then in the afternoon, do something fun, go play tennis or go surfing or go for a bike ride or go out with some friends and have a walk. So it's nice to have someone to have your back when, you have a family member that needs some help.
Yes, and that is so true. And it's also healthy for, your mental, because being an entrepreneur, solopreneur, it weighs heavy because I believe, we want to always do more. We all want to over, produce, and sometimes that can be unhealthy. So like you said, you living on the beach, that's wonderful. So now you can kind of get your stuff done and then get a mental and physical break from, the work and concentrate on yourself. So that's wonderful. I love your story, Chuck. I want people to really reach out to you. You did leave your websites, dancingpandamarketing.com and obnetworking.com. But if anyone wants to connect with Chuck after this podcast, please feel free to send an email to us, editor@passionatemarketers.com, and we'll get that information to Chuck. Chuck, thank you so very much for giving us just a little bit of your time out of this busy schedule. This is your afternoon break, so we're happy here at the One Marketing Thing podcast that you were able to give us some gems on, we can be more successful when we collaborate. Working together, we can flourish. So thank you so very much for being a guest here on the One Marketing Thing podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you for the time. It was really nice to meet you, and I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. And we also want to thank our sponsor, Propel. They are a unique automation and management platform, and they help, they're the number one tool that's going to help you convert your website visitors into customers. So thank you, Propel. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you for tuning into the One Marketing Thing podcast.